Yo, welcome. I'm your co-host, Roger Reed, Coach Reed, and you're watching 828 Elite Podcast, your premier podcast of Western North Carolina. And I'm here with the beautiful Nina Marie.
Thank you, guys. And we have a lovely guest on today, Mr. Joe Greene, Asheville's finest. Mr. Joe Greene is a native of Asheville, North Carolina. He is a proud father of 3 beautiful children, 22, 13, and 11. He is raised by his parents, Lonnie and Yvette, and he is the third of 4 siblings. Joe is the author and publisher of his first book, titled The Next Chapter, Early Screening Saving Lives, which was written as a result of being diagnosed with colon cancer at the age of 40. He is presently writing his second book, What About the Mental, as he continues his fight going through the 5th year with colon cancer. Mr. Greene is also in the midst of co-writing his play about the beginnings and continuation of his fight with colon cancer. He will play himself as he brings the audience on a journey through the realities of the medical and mental impact of living with colon cancer. And Joe is the founder of the Joe Greene Foundation, which he creates space for conversations about colon cancer, promotion of early detection and screening for colon cancer, symptom education, patient advocacy, and being active participant and decision maker in your care, awareness with options with result trials and participation, as well as providing information on resources for healthcare, as well as accessing and maintaining quality healthcare. Joe describes himself as an entrepreneur, philanthropist, motivator, promoter, visionary, advocate, symptom educator, game changer, and humble man, being the messenger, voicing the message about a disease impacting the lives of people, especially people of color and especially men of color. That is a lot. You have done a lot.
And
still going. And some of this didn't even allude to other things you've done. Like we talked about earlier, Hood Talk, the comedy and all the different shows that you've promoted and brought here with laughter. I know I went to just about almost all your comedy shows that I could get to. I know some of them, being a mom, might not have made all of them, but I've definitely tried to be a supporter of things that you've been around doing. Oh, wait a minute. Fashion designer, Big Boy Fly. Definitely remember that. You've been out here. You've been out here in this community with real boots on the ground in the communities that you represent, and the ones that you even tap into that, broke the barriers down for, especially with reading this bio. So tell us some more about you and this current stage that you're in right now of what you're doing. Walk us through like the story of how that went, like being diagnosed and to get where you are today, like going through that book and writing that book.
Thank y'all for having me. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all.
For sure.
Definitely. This really, just to elaborate on a little couple of things like that. Like again, I was diagnosed at the age of 40 with colon cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Put it off for a while. I got diagnosed during COVID.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I actually went and had my test stuff done during COVID, and actually it wasn't a lot of stuff open, and then I didn't have insurance, so I had to find a way to get it paid for and stuff like that. So I had to do all that, but everything being closed during COVID.
Right.
But I was blessed to know people. Like you said, I've been in the community for a minute of working, so I knew a couple people, so I was able to open a couple of doors. A couple people opened doors for me to be able to get the test done when I got it done, which I'm thankful that I got it done at that time, because when I got diagnosed, actually I got diagnosed at stage 3.
Wow.
And it's only 4 stages in cancer.
Right.
So again, I got diagnosed 5 years ago. So again, stage 3 it's only 4 stages. So I've been in that thin line ever since, you know what I'm saying? So most people probably get that information when they do go have a colonoscopy test, that's something that we promote, colonoscopy tests, and when they do go have that test, especially as a black man or something like that, you get the results
right
when you wake up and they tell you the results that You know, that them polyps that they ain't tell you about whatever, or them polyps that they removed before, they ain't tell you that they was cancerous or nothing like that. Or they ain't tell you that's the first stage of cancer, basically. They're not gonna tell you all that stuff, but when you wake up and then think that you probably gonna get diagnosed with like hemorrhoids or something like that, then they end up telling you got cancer. It's a whole different kind of pill to swallow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So woke up from the colonoscopy test to them telling me, you know, that the doctors would come in and talk to me. The doctor came in and talked to me, and he relayed the news to me that I had cancer, you know. And my first words to him was, damn. My second words to him was, well, doc, what's my next steps? You know what I'm saying? I got kids.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like my thing was from that day forward, from that little moment forward, that I wasn't gonna be quiet about it. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times in them situations like that, especially, you know, getting diagnosed with cancer or anything like that, just them big words, like that word and such a strong, powerful word and things behind it, like a lot of people shut down from it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It can shut you down and I can take you down real quick. But I chose, like, you know, not to be quiet about it. I chose to speak up about it. I chose to share to the world what happened to me. You know what I'm saying? To let them know, like, no matter what all that bio and everything you read, everything I've done, and all the stuff I done put into and did, things like that, it don't, you know, it matter, but it don't really matter because at the end of the day, like, you know what I'm saying, like, with that words, like, them words are more powerful than anything else. So, you know, that bio and all that stuff like that, everything I've done, it just, I had to learn through the process of what I've been going through is why I was given this. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people ask themselves, like, why me?
Right.
I never asked myself, why me? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it was given to me because who I am. It was given to me to finally figure out what my purpose in life was. Find my lane and find my reason why I was doing all these comedy shows and all this entertainment stuff like that, why I was giving this gift to give people to, or why I was wondering what was at the end of my rope with it, because I never seen the fruits of the labor, to be honest with you. I probably did, this in Nashville alone, I probably did over 200, 300 shows.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
But I don't have the big house. I don't have the big cars. I don't have all that stuff like that. I never seen the big paydays that the promoters got and stuff like that. I never seen these days.
Yeah.
But I never quit either because it was something in me that made me want to keep going. And it had to be either the drive for the hustle or the drive to get me prepared for this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
It was paving the way.
yeah, it was paving the way. And like, you know, it took me a little time to understand it a little more because the older you get, the more you get to look into stuff and like realizing really what life is about. You know what I'm saying? And like the older I got, the more I got to look into it, the more I got to understand it. And then like I finally understood, like, you know, asking the Lord, like I always pray, like, you know what I'm saying, for Lord, show me, like, let me know what my sign is, what I'm here for. You know what I'm saying? And my sign was, I guess, building all that stuff up and building my character up and building my platform up to be the ambassador to change the ambassador to change the numbers of colonoscopy tests being done out here, to lower the numbers and to spread the word about colonoscopy. Like by getting the colonoscopy test and about colon cancer. So
yeah.
So,
Go ahead.
I was just going to ask a follow-up question to the end of that. Lower the numbers. Does that lower the age to get tested?
Yeah, so like my thing was like when I got diagnosed, the numbers was at 50 if you had insurance for them to pay for your colonoscopy test.
Right.
It's insurance companies. I got diagnosed, the numbers when that time when I was getting diagnosed, the Black Panther died from colon cancer.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like the numbers came down to 45 because he had such a big uproar, like the numbers because the numbers were so high.
Right.
Because they were basing it off of old, I guess, systems and numbers and stuff like that.
The only way you get
yeah.
tested ahead of time is if you have a family history.
Right. So they was basing a lot of it off of that. So the numbers, and I guess, in like, you know what I'm saying, this because like I never paid attention to this stuff until it happened to me. You know what I'm saying? So I had to start studying, I had to start understanding, I had to start reading, I had to start asking questions to the doctors and everything like that. So when Chad Boswell died, he died from it. The numbers came from they lowered the number from 50 to 45. But even if I would have listened to that, I still wouldn't be here probably today because I'm just 44 now. You know what I'm saying? I was diagnosed at 40. So I felt like the numbers had to be, they still should be lower from 45. I chose to become the ambassador. The numbers been lowered to 40. You know what I'm saying? But even with that, talking to my doctors and asking questions and educating myself about this stuff when I do get on like the platforms to talk to people so that I can know I had the true information. Now, after COVID, the numbers are up 75%. People 30 and below with getting colon cancer.
Wow.
30 and below, 75%.
Wow.
And like, mind you, like, so when I got diagnosed, like my doctor done told me that since I got diagnosed when I was 40, that my kids got to have theirs when they 30.
Oh, wow.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Just to make sure it ain't in their trait.
Right.
And I'm the only one that got this. Like, it's not a family trait. It wasn't given to me. I didn't get this from my granddad and my grandmamas and all that stuff like that. Nah, I'm the first one in my family that had this.
Wow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
I definitely think it needs, most of these early detection screenings need to be in the late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
You know, from breast to colon, and, you know, prostate, you know, all of it.
Even with that, though, like I tell people, like, how can they tell you what age you don't feel good?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So is that what led you to the doctor? Was it his situation or was it?
What led to the doctor? Like, I seen the signs. I seen the signs. I was living in two cities. I was living in Asheville and Charlotte because at the time we owned two barbershops in Charlotte.
Okay.
So I was working. We was working getting them together. Well, we was working getting the first one together at that time, and I was traveling back and forth up the road to Asheville to Charlotte, and I was living in two cities. But I always felt like, because in Charlotte, I lived with my brothers and my sisters in there. Okay. Asheville, I had my own house. So I always felt like when I got back at Asheville, I enjoyed my bathroom more than using the bathroom down there, because I would be in Charlotte for 3 or 4 days and wouldn't use the restroom.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
And then when I get back to Asheville, I would use it, but I would struggle to use it.
Okay.
I would see the blood. I would see the struggle. I would see not being able to use the bathroom, stuff like that.
Right.
And then my mom was a nurse, which is a blessing, you know what I'm saying? So she seen the signs and she pressed me to, you know what I'm saying, like, you need to have this test done, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, even when I was pressed to have the test, I'm gonna be honest with you, even when I got approved to have the test, like when they got approved to pay for the test, I still put it off.
Still some hesitation.
Still hesitated. Like I got approved for it during COVID. That January after COVID ended right there, they signed me up for the week of my birthday to have the colonoscopy test. I turned 40. I was like, I ain't gonna have no test on my birthday week. I'm about to turn 40. I'm about to go to Atlanta and party and do all this. You know, I turned 40. It's a different number. So I went to Atlanta. I put it off then. I put it off that week. So that's January. February came. I still was playing around with it. I still didn't. I didn't drink the solution. You got to drink the solution to have a test.
Yeah, that's a process too, right?
It's a process too. It's a part of the process too that's rough too. But I didn't do that, so I played with it then. So I put it off. Then January, February, then March came. They was full. So here come April. I'm on my third strike. I gotta do it now. You know, so I ain't got no choice.
Right.
So I go in April 17th, 2021, had a test. I get diagnosed with cancer when I wake up. I asked the doctor, what's my next steps? He said, well, I'm referring to my specialist when I woke up.
Okay.
He referred me to a specialist. April 17th, I get diagnosed. April 20th, I go see a specialist. The specialist tell me, well, Joe, you're like, I'm 45, you 40, you don't eat red meat, you don't smoke cigarettes, stuff like that. You know, so I'm gonna treat you like my brother and stuff like that. We're gonna get it out your body and we go on the back end for everything else. It's like, cool. All right. So April 17th, I get diagnosed. April 20th, I go see a specialist. April 27th, I'm scheduled for emergency surgery.
Wow.
So my life changed that fast. You know what I'm saying? So I went and had, in 2 weeks, I went and had emergency surgery. They took the mass of a tennis ball out of me.
Wow.
That's how much cancer was in the mass of a tennis ball. And they cut me like 7 times and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, from there, it was like the healing process. But the healing process include chemo to radiation to everything else to come with it. You know, and like a lot of people, we don't know about radiation. We don't know about the chemo stuff. We take the first options that's there. Of course, you can take the natural stuff. You can try that route if you feel like you can do that route.
Right.
But a lot of times you ain't trying to play with that route. I got kids. I ain't trying to play with. I got a little life left. I'm trying to see what I got.
Trying to prolong
it and like be
you.
as long as I can be. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna play around and go listen to this natural herbs and stuff like that. Not saying it's not for everybody, but some people it's for, some people it's not.
Right.
So
and sometimes it depends on what level you
are.
Level
you are.
Like
you
said, that's level 3.
Level
I
3.
don't want to take the chances to get to level 4.
Right. I'm already at that age.
Yeah.
I'm at that level. So I'm like, so that's really what happened. Is like the numbers is I just chose to hopefully bring the numbers down and hopefully get some awareness. Enough people talking about it that we do bring the numbers down.
And I want to speak on something because this is something my background with being a psychologist and really diving deeper into Black psychology, especially people who are in environments where we don't really go see the doctor.
Right.
We'll fight off a doctor till we almost on our deathbed, right?
Facts.
And then I want to go back to that point when you was hesitating. Right. Obviously, you had your birthday. You know, I don't want to do nothing on my birthday, man. This is 40. This is a big number. But so many stories that I come across with people who put off. What do you think that psychological piece is for us, especially Black men in our culture, that put off so much health issues that we could have addressed earlier?
Yeah.
What do you think that psychology piece is about us?
It's planted in us though, bro. It ain't nothing that we just did. It's planted in us. You know what I'm saying? It's something that we done been fed for our whole life. You know what I'm saying? And again, men, like, you know what I'm saying? Like we especially Black men, we put into this pertaining of what we got to be. Any man, I guess, but like, really like a Black man, especially in our situations, like we got to be the protector. We got to be the provider.
Gotta be strong.
Gotta be strong.
Can't
no matter, we can't show the weakness in our face, even though we're going through what we're going through.
I agree.
So you imagine me trying to keep this stable, like a positive attitude and stuff like that, like in front of my kids, like, you know what I'm saying, like last year probably was like my heart. Like last year I had the big surgery. I had a very big surgery last year where they told me like they'll go in. I had to go to Wake Forest.
Okay.
Where they go in and they'll cut me open and they'll take much of the cancer out that they can see.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then they're going to do a big chemo flush inside of me, which hopefully can kill everything that they don't see.
Wow.
But the whole time, they still, even on the first surgery and stuff like that, like the radiation that I had that I didn't know about, how radiation would do to your body, the radiation I had, it burnt a lot of tissue cells and like scarred a lot of tissues to the places where the cancer was mostly at.
Right.
So they would get most of it out, but they couldn't get all of it out. So it would reoccur.
I got you.
It keep coming back.
Gotcha.
So like that's I'm in the position now. It's like it's back. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, I had a big surgery last year. Where I'm telling you, like I was 350 at one time. You know, so imagine 350 at one time, and then you waking up one day and having to look in the mirror, you 195.
Yeah. I remember you.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember the football joke.
Yeah, the football joke and the big boy fly. So like I made clothes for big boys because I was a big guy. You know what I'm saying? Imagine going through all that till one day just looking in the mirror and you 195.
Yeah.
But you still got to keep a smile on your face. Like you ain't got no muscle mass or nothing like that. I can't even open up my car door.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I got to keep a smile on my face or positive because my kids right here watching me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And like even though it was hard times because they would go to school and I would be on the couch.
Yeah.
They would come home, I'd be in the same place because I couldn't move. You know what I'm saying? But it's been some rough times. You know what I'm saying? It's been some rough times, but it's been some, I can't say it's been rough times, but it's been good times too because I learned how to live a little more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because you just came back from Vegas.
Yeah.
Your son won MVP.
Yeah. We've been to Vegas a couple times.
Yeah. And like you look at that adventure a little different now, don't you?
Yeah. You look at everything like that.
Yeah, man.
You look at everything. Period.
I can
different,
imagine.
like this relationships and everything like that. Like you know what I'm saying? Like me being diagnosed with cancer and stuff like that. It actually brought my family. We're thankful for it. It brought my family closer together.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because like my sister and brothers was feuding over for years.
Yeah.
They lived in the same city. Like probably like 10, 15 minutes up the street from each other, and they wouldn't even communicate for years over arguments or some dumb stuff. But just not knowing how short life was.
Oh yeah, I'm
You
with
know
you.
what I'm saying? This, like, I was like, so I ain't saying all bad came out of this. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of some good and came out of it. You know what I'm saying? Some good and came out of it. A lot of knowledge came out of it. A lot of understanding came out of it. And just taking it how it go.
So you alluded to something with your question about why black men aren't going necessarily, or not just black men, but why people in general don't necessarily run to the doctor. And you talked about it at the beginning about like not having insurance and not having to pay for the test, but the test being an expense in itself.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that is one reason why a lot of people don't to run, because if you find out something, how do you deal with it at that point?
Right.
Do you have like any resources now when telling people to get tests that they could probably find to get the test? Because I know now colonoscopies can be done, or they can test for certain screenings with not just a colonoscopy, but they can do like, testing your stools and different things like that. Do you have like resources that people could go to help if they are diagnosed, to be able to continue treatment to be able to prolong their life?
It's in the side of the book, but it's in Asheville though, so it's located in Asheville too. You can find it like through Mayheck and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's basically like it's this a company that will help you if
It's
you
not a
don't got
BIPA, is
insurance, huh?
It's not a BIPA, is it?
Nah, people like we all
Okay.
work together, but it's
If you get the book, you'll find it.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. If you get the book, you'll get it.
It's not hard to find though, but it's a place that helped me pay for mine. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, help me pay for mine, and they still available to this day.
Okay.
To help people without insurance get it paid for. But like you say, it's a lot of things that will derail you from having a test too, the colonoscopy test too.
Right.
From the solution, because like drink solution, that shit is hard.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit there and lie.
Can't eat
My
nothing.
parents
Can't eat nothing.
hated
Yeah,
it.
like it's hard. It's such a crazy part of the process because, like, nowadays how everything is, the fruit and all, like how they building everything up, the organic stuff and everything like that. Like they can make stuff taste better and different things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But they choose to keep that keep that how it is, and it's rough.
Right.
It's rough, and it deter a lot of people from doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Like where the bubblegum flavor at?
Yeah, like what like, you know what I'm
you
saying?
got cherry grape
Or something like.
That's
you
a
know what
good
I'm
point, though, man.
Yeah, like
of all the
but
flavors,
then,
but you
can't make no kind of flavor out of this. You make
Right.
flavors out of everything else.
Right.
Yeah.
But you can't make this taste a little better, a little more less harsh.
Right.
But then they got another option where they can take the pills. That's hard too, though. Like you know what I'm
Right.
saying? I had to take like 30 pills, probably like in 2 hours.
Oh wow.
30 pills in
Like,
2
yeah,
hours.
like,
And
yeah,
probably
you got-
like them horse pills
The
too.
horse pills
You
too.
ain't
Like
even talking about like no
you gotta
easy
pop.
pill.
Yeah, you gotta put them, get them down. Like you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of pills, but like it's like which one you choose, to drink the solution or you want to take the pills. Like both of them is rough.
Right.
I'm not gonna sit there and lie. And then a lot of people got in their mind frame when they take the colonoscopy test that it's gonna be this test where they still do the old stuff, where they take the glove, put it on the glove, all that. Especially men, like
Oh,
hey,
yeah, you already
ain't
know.
nobody
That's a
going up in
vulnerable,
me.
that's a
Ain't
vulnerable thing
Yeah,
for us.
yeah, ain't nobody doing that. But they you go in there, they can put the IV in you go to sleep, you
Okay.
wake up, it's
Right.
over with.
Okay.
Right.
That's simple. They're gonna
Right.
tell you results. You got polyps, which is they probably won't tell you that that's the first signs of the cancer. They can say we remove a couple polyps in you, and they'll just rub that off like it ain't nothing, but it let you know it's the first signs of cancer.
Okay.
Okay.
And then from there, like you know what I'm saying, like you can, like you know your doctors and they should be able to help you do some kind of different stages if you got some kind of recovery to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man, that you said that. But as an ambassador, are you kind of giving that feedback to people who are making these decisions on how we can go through this process to make it easier for more people to get that taken care of? Like, is that something that you're expressing?
Yeah, bro. I'm being real with you, man. Like a lot of this, it'd be like, you know, I can want to do as much as I want to do. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
that's true.
But it's how much I can do. It's almost so much I can do.
I agree.
Some days I don't feel like nothing. Like you know what I'm saying? Like even right now, I'm actually struggling just to get through this interview. Just because, like, my body going through so much different stuff. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like I actually started a new chemo last week. Like that is like, so I got to take these chemo pills twice a day, which is the horse pills.
I got
and
you.
like they make you nauseated, you know what I'm saying, if you don't take them right, you know what I'm saying. So like I hate throwing up, you know what I'm saying. Like, to be honest with y'all, like right now I got the bag on, like, you know what I'm saying. You wouldn't know if I got the bag on if I didn't tell you, but I got the bag on. I've been having the bag on for like almost a year now, you know what I'm saying. So it's a lot of different stages of shit that happens. I mean, because a lot of different stages of stuff that happen that people don't want to talk about, people don't want to go through. Like, my biggest fear, and this, to be real, which my biggest fear from day one was to get the bag.
Yeah.
But when I got the bag, it probably relieved a lot of stress from it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you like, it's just a lot. But like I said, it's a lot that you want to do.
I got you.
But there's almost so much you can do, especially like by myself too, though. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll be honest with you, like I was telling y'all about, I got invited to Atlanta to speak finally.
Yeah.
By the Crohn's disease company, not company, but the Crohn's disease organization. And like coming up soon. So like I've been going through these treatments for 5 years, right? I'll be honest with you, I have not seen not one person in these treatment centers that look like me in 5 years, bro.
Really?
Wow.
And I've been going through a lot of treatments. I've been through a lot of places. I've been to Miami, to be in treatment. I've been to Charlotte to be in treatment.
Right.
I've been to Wake Forest to be in treatment. The Duke. I've been to Asheville, Kansas, all these places. I've never seen another black man in these places getting treatment that's my age.
Yeah.
You know, I never seen a black man, period. And like, don't get me wrong, I tell them all the time, I don't want to see you there.
Right.
But with the numbers saying this the highest rate, we got the highest numbers, we dying from, these the rates we dying from.
Right. That's because we're not showing up to get tested.
Yeah, something is like, you know what I'm saying, what's going on? Something is different.
We're choosing to die from it versus get the solutions and come out and live again from it is what obviously must be happening. And if we don't start going into the healthcare field to work, becoming the doctors and different things like that, but also going to get the test, we're always going to have a negative connotation that they can't help us. But they can't help what they don't see either. Right. You know, so because a little deviation, I heard on the news one time how they had made strides with Alzheimer's medication and different things like that when they finally were tapping in and getting access to African American brains or just African brains. It doesn't matter, just the African descent. And then and I was like, wow, I was like, we might be a code that unlocks something with a lot of things, but if we are too scared to go, and it does feel like practice in a lot of ways. So healthcare is to each and own, but there are things that can be preventable if caught early, which is why you're here. You know, don't necessarily go through all of it if we catch it early. Right. You know, you don't have to go through all the steps and all the treatments if it's caught in early detection. So thank you for being here. Even when you don't feel like showing up, you still show up. Yeah. And that takes a lot. So
and I'm there too, because like I said, I hear what you're saying. Like, you're only one person, but you're going through it as well. Yeah. Right? It's not like, you know, it's other people out here that's not going through it. That's actually,
you're not doing it for somebody.
Yeah.
You're doing it as you are going through it.
Right. But I think your message is important, not only as being a native of Asheville, when we have a large BIPOC community that doesn't really see the importance of healthcare as much as we should put our money and funding to that. But I think you're right on, spot on when it's like, what can I do? You know, and that's why I thought your story was important to be on here. Yeah. Because it's something that we need to hear, you know, from an authentic point of view, right? And you've even helped me be a little bit more understanding about, you know, I never got a colonoscopy. I worked in the hospital, in the surgical places. I've seen the scopes, the different scopes. I've seen it all. So, but I never thought I'd be up under that scope, you know, and you're kind of giving me that courage now, even now talking to you about, okay, you know what? I'm 38.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
not just because you don't feel the signs, it doesn't mean it's not there.
Facts.
And I think that's another thing that what you're trying to allude to. It's not necessarily because you said you had this feeling.
Yeah.
Right.
There might be people out there that's walking every day, don't even realize it.
Right.
But it's affecting them whether they know it or not. And I think that's something that is important to make sure that we all understand that why your message is so clear and understandable. You know, so I appreciate that about that.
Oh yeah, I tell everybody. I say this ain't nothing that I heard.
Yeah,
Right.
This is what I'm living.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And hopefully that resonates with a lot of people, white, black, whatever it is. Because like I said, as much as it is us as a culture, I think it's important to know that this is something that affects all cultures. And and I think that's important to know
Yeah,
too.
cancer doesn't care about color,
No.
age, any
No.
of that. Cancer doesn't discriminate.
At
You
all.
know, and that's one thing too. Like being able, and I feel like a lot of people are scared because they can't maybe travel to get the treatment that they want or go maybe to the places that they want to be able to be treated from. But one thing about your courage about coming out is that a lot of people go through things alone.
Right.
Because I feel like maybe if I made more of a fuss and tried to get my dad somewhere, things would have been different for his outcome. But just not going through it alone, like telling your story and letting people know is so encouraging, and it's a breath of fresh air for
Correct.
some of us to be able to see, like, because a lot of people go through things and they hear that word, they either choose not to do something, they do something, but they stay silent. And I've been reading this book called The Untethered Soul, and it talks about energy and just the energy that you're putting out there for people to be able to grasp onto and hold on to is such positive energy that we need, you know, at this time. That, you know, and when you not, you know, putting that energy out there is also in some ways healing for yourself as well.
Right.
So, you know, just keep honing in on that good energy,
Right.
you know. And so, yeah, we do have something else to talk about with your 45 and 45. Tell us more about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, like just trying to figure out different ways to get our men.
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah.
You can be
attention.
one of them 45,
Yeah,
Hey,
45.
look.
yeah, it's time to figure out a different
I'm a-
way to get attention of people, like, you know what I'm saying? Because our attention span, especially nowadays, is so limited.
Right.
Especially with social media and everything like that. Like our attention spans is real thin. We don't have
We're
long attention
goldfish.
span.
Right.
We
Exactly.
real fast. So like I just, like, you know, me and Kelly White, shout out to Kelly White, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, shout out to
She
Kelly.
heard me, she came to, I spoke in Mayheck last month for the colon cancer awareness month. It's March.
That's March. Okay.
Yeah, so
okay.
like, you know, dark blue is our color. So like she
Okay.
came and heard me speak at the retreat, how you want to call it. And she came into me, she's like, well, you know what I'm saying? She's like, let's do something, you know what I'm saying? Let's do something to get people interested in, get grab some people's attention.
Right.
And she's like, what you think about 45 and 45? I was like, what you mean? She's like, well, you know, you got the numbers. She's like, the numbers down to 45 now for the test to be paid for and something like that. She's like, see, can we get 45 men in 45 days to get at least signed up for a colonoscopy test?
Right.
I said, cool. That sounds all right, 45 and 45. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we got here now. We're pressing 45 and 45. We're trying to,
Has it
Put the
already
word
started
out.
or is it about to start?
it can start whenever we want to start.
Okay.
I don't really think it got like a start date and a due date because
Okay.
it's never going to be an ending thing.
Right.
For
You
sure.
know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's just a concept. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying?
Just to
And,
build that awareness.
This is a way to build that awareness. This to
I
get some
get
kind
it.
of pressure on, like this to put, because sometimes people work better under pressure.
Right.
I agree.
And sometimes people
Right.
don't. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes pressure push people to do a little more than what they would have done without the push. You know what I'm saying? So
No, I
like,
totally agree.
yeah, like, you know, like 45 and 45 just sound like it's a good saying, and like hopefully we can get a couple. We got about 3 or 4 men already signed up anyway, so we definitely down to about 40 men now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So we can just, like, you know, keep pushing. Even we get 10 men, it don't matter. Like we get one
Right.
person signed up, it's good. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Just to take that opportunity, just to get that information, and like it could be such a relief for you, because it, like, that test ain't just for you. The colonoscopy test is just not for you as a
Right.
man. It's for your family.
I agree.
It's for people around you, man.
I
It's
agree.
for your loved ones, for your friends. It's for it's for everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, again, like you say, you 38.
Yeah.
Just because you're 38 don't, like, you know, you feel like you need to get this test done. You feel like that's in your part of your brain or something. Like you said, you've been around it.
Yeah.
You know, like, get it done. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a peace of mind.
Right.
It's a peace of mind, bro. Like,
and we can't claim to be here for people and not end up being here for people for just missing out on certain tests like that.
And you got to be for yourself too.
Yeah, you got to be for yourself too.
You
like
got to.
You got babies too. You got kids. Like you're a teacher. You got people. Like I lost a good friend last year. Man, I lost a good friend. When the A&T we played football together. He died from cancer. He died from. I finally got him to go get a colonoscopy test done. Finally. Took him a while, you know. He seen my story, but he smoked cigarettes and he smoked cigarettes and a lot of stuff like that. But he ended up dying from like the lung cancer.
Okay.
But he passed away, man. And like you know, you see people going through it, especially like you in a fight too.
Yeah.
And then when you see like somebody that you love and like that, and then you see them in the fight with you, then they eventually gone.
Right.
And like you like, wow, like he really. You know, he really died from this. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, I really can die from this too. You know what I'm saying? And like, he got kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? He left his babies. Right. He didn't want to leave them.
Right.
But he left them. You know what I'm saying? And like, it get pretty heavy, man. But like, you know, it can be a peace of mind for you to have that thought out of your mind that, you know what I'm saying, that it could be there and it's there or not there. Like, because my thing is, I tell people, like, you never know what's going on inside your body without this test. Like, you know, so you can feel great, then, like, look great on outside and everything like that. But until you had this test, you never know what's going on inside your body. And that's just facts.
Test doesn't mean yes, but it gives you a definite answer of yes or no.
Right. And then, like, you can take it from there. Like, you know, you can take it if you want to fight. Or if you don't want to fight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got an option.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
The worst thing is not fighting. It's fighting what you don't know.
Right.
You know?
You're right, facts. And then if you don't do it, you know, how would you ever know?
Right. That's true, man. I mean, it's so much that goes on in our bodies every day. And the older we get, is more prevalent. Right. And I think that's important to know. And a mental health aspect of it is, too, is you don't know what you don't know, right? And sometimes what we don't know are the things that worry us the most, right? Just like walking in a dark room, you know, don't know what's in there, but you already got anxiety for the. Right. But once you turn on the lights, you see what's going on, and you can kind of navigate differently.
That's very good.
And so I think of a mental health standpoint of it being, once you know all that's going on, you have a better way of living life differently and knowing how to navigate that. So I kind of take that in the mental health space of why it's important to get this opportunity and why your message is so clear and cut, is we need to know what's going on in ourselves before it's too late.
Right.
So I definitely appreciate the 45 and 45. I too, and I'm just gonna put this out there now. I'm gonna let y'all know.
Okay,
now.
let us know.
Let me get. Hold on. Let me look up first.
There?
Okay, cool. I'm good now. But I'm gonna get checked up because I said to myself, once I do this interview with Joe, because I want everybody to know this. And I looked up to Joe. Joe went to Asheville High. He's an Asheville graduate.
Cool.
His sister went to A&T. We ain't gonna talk about that.
No, I'm an Aggie too.
You were Aggie too. I forgot about that too. But I'm North Carolina Central. But we share Asheville blood, and he's one of the guys that before I became a Cougar in Asheville High School, he was the guys that I looked up to.
Right.
And so it's been a blessing to not only see you do great things for our city, be a part of it in certain capacities, but also thankful that you're able to be here today.
Amen.
and really share this kind of light on things that are important to our community, because as you know, being from HBCUs, that's one of the things about HBCUs, man. We're all about truth and service, all about giving back to the community. That's an HBCU way, and I think that's something that Ashevilleans learn about, that village that we talked about before, and how we need to start being more giving information back to our community, because we go out, but a lot of us don't come back in.
Right.
And those who do need to be able to share those information to make sure that our kids and our youth and their families are informed about stuff that's going on. And that's why I'm very appreciative of being here with you right now. For sure.
Yeah.
You're my guy. You're my guy.
Appreciate
Your son, too, I want to let you know, your son he always got these chains on, man. He got a chain on. He looking suave all the time. And he be with
Looks
Auntie.
just like you.
Yeah,
Very
look
much
just like you, man. And it's good to see that he gets to enjoy his father still. And because I lost my father from obesity and not just taking care of himself. And it really hurts because not only did I lose my father, but my other siblings lost their father too. So knowing that how important it is to have a father in a life and really being there and taking care of yourself shows the love you have for not only for yourself, but for the family and the friends that you still endure as well. So I think that's a message in itself, is getting this test is also a test of your testimonial piece of how much you care about the people in your life. Right?
Yeah.
And how much you care about yourself. And I think that's a true message in itself. So, yeah.
Yeah, because you could have definitely kept, and not just you, but I feel like there are a lot of people alluding to like what you were saying of why you're the only person in the room of your ethnicity and status of being a male and a black male in a room, where it's like, well, where are the rest of them if we are passing away with this illness, and it's people are reading and seeing the signs but not doing anything about it. So again, you recognize something and you did something about it, and you found the reasons why, whether it's for yourself but also for your kids, your family, and you even extended it back to us in the community, to make light of what you're going through, because you could have simply just kept it in. And unfortunately, like Chad did, Black Panther did, he did keep it in, and we woke up to losing our Black Panther one day and we were all crying about it, like, well, why? Because people were thinking that maybe he just had a role when he was seen, out, and he got very small and, not knowing what he was going through. But so thank you for, again, just shining your light, so brightly about what you're doing. And thank you to your family for allowing, them, allowing you to share yourself, because it's not just with them. You share yourself. Obviously, you're going to Atlanta for a speaking engagement. You're sharing yourself with so many people. So, in your story, and it doesn't go unnoticed. It doesn't go, we're here to give you your flowers for that, And for me, I think I would like to mention something that the mindset, and that's the name of your book, your next book. So could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the first book is when I got diagnosed. The day I got diagnosed, but honestly, like sitting there, I had to find a way to break the information to my family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like phone calls I knew I couldn't take their emotions and my emotions. So of course I texted everybody, you know what I'm saying? We did the text message thing, and I was sitting at the table, and I was just thinking, like, dang, like, what if I would have known about this stuff earlier?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What about somebody really would have educated me about this a little earlier, you know what I'm saying? And the ESL just sparked in my name. This ESSL just popped up in my brain, and it's like early screening saves lives. So I was like, okay. And I was like, so that's going to be the name. That's going to be the subject of the book. So I was like, I'm going to name it the next chapter, because I feel like this ain't the last chapter of me. It's not gonna be the beginning chapter of me either. Somebody, you understand? So I got named it the next chapter, ESSL. Early Screen Light is my first book. My second book is the next chapter. What about the mental? You know what I'm saying? So I actually put off for probably like this whole time I've been diagnosed. I always ask like about the doctors and stuff about counseling. Like, you know what I'm saying, would I take counseling? And I always pushed it off because I always felt like if I accepted counseling, I accepted that I had cancer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like, it's all a mental thing, too. Like, in your mind, like,
I agree.
This is fighting the period.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to have different things like, well, shit, this might just deter me, you know what I'm saying? But, like, in my mind frame, I always felt like if I accepted it, I was if I took counseling on, I was accepting that I had cancer. But this last year, I finally did some research and finally found a black counselor in Asheville area, like a black male, to be my therapist.
Okay.
And I finally started taking therapy.
Good.
You know what I'm saying? So I got a therapy session tomorrow, to be honest with you. So I went to my therapist and I asked him, I said, well, what'd you think about helping me write this book? My second book. You know what I'm saying? So it come from two black men from two angles.
Yeah.
It come from me as a patient and it come from you as a black therapist.
Right.
So he helped me write my book. His name is Jay Wilson.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so
yeah, I'm gonna have to get his information.
I know Jay Wilson.
Yeah,
You do?
Jay Wilson.
Yeah, I knew exactly who you was thinking about because it ain't too many of us out
It's
there.
not.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
not.
It's
So
not, yeah.
it ain't too many of us. So I know Jay Wilson. He's a
Peripheral.
great friend of mine. He also has a podcast himself.
Yeah, I'm going on this podcast
Yeah,
soon.
yeah. Sneaker with therapy, sneaking therapy,
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah,
Awesome.
he's
We gotta
amazing.
We got to collab.
We definitely are collabing. Trust
We
me,
got to
Jay.
collab.
He was here for our
Flash.
launch party and everything.
Yeah.
So
Okay, awesome.
yeah, Jay
Yeah.
Wilson is a good guy, man.
Yeah,
So
Jay,
that's a
yeah.
good guy to be able to help with that too. So
So we just wrote. He helped me. He co-wrote the book with me, man. So it's like the book is from both angles.
yeah.
Okay.
So I'm looking for I actually got the rough draft and we finishing up the final changes of it and stuff like that. So the book should be hitting the shelves probably in the next month.
Okay.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Can we
Awesome.
expect to get a copy of that? Can
Of
we get
course.
can we get a
Yeah.
signature on
yeah,
that?
Yeah.
definitely.
You know what I mean?
I got both books. Yeah, both books.
Yeah.
Books.
I would
definitely.
love to
I'm
do that.
gonna buy mine, and I want you to sign.
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah,
buy
yeah.
it. We're gonna
Yeah,
buy it.
yeah,
though.
and-
Just
yeah.
make sure we get the signature.
Yeah, this
though.
for y'all. This for everybody know out there. It's on Amazon.com. too.
Okay,
The first
there
book.
you go.
Both books
to
been-
make
There you go.
something from it.
Huh?
You do get to make something from
the
your
Amazon?
books. Yeah,
Yeah.
having it there.
It's not a lot.
do
You
we
ain't got to tell us
order?
about your pockets,
Yeah, we
man.
don't- yeah,
No,
we
I ain't
don't-
worried.
I'm
I'm
just-
messing
I wanna
with
make
you.
sure
No.
proceeds go to.
Yeah, no. Proceeds go to me, but like
Okay.
No, that's
proceeds
good.
go to. It's just. I'm just happy that people getting the book and reading it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I tell a lot of people, like my biggest thing is give me your. I want to hear. Like I know. Give me your feedback from it so I know that you read it.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's all I want. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I can tell by the questions you ask me if you read it or not.
Exactly.
And I
That's why I say
Yeah,
I feel a
agree.
little naked
Yeah,
because
and
I know our next
Yeah.
person had a book and I
Yeah.
read it.
And I wrote these books. And I wrote both books. Well, the second book a little more because it's about the mental health. It's a little more depth. But the first book of Early Streams of Saved Lives is not. It's not a hard book to read.
Right.
I didn't make these books hard books to read. So actually, I got a homegirl. She texted me yesterday, checked on me from Greensboro. I went to A&T with her too. She's a teacher now, and she used my book as one of her things to write about in class.
Right.
Wow.
Like projects that
That's
the kids,
amazing.
and she
Right.
teach fourth graders.
Right.
That's awesome.
So the fourth graders are reading the book and writing
And
the
that's impact.
reports off of it. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, Joe.
So yeah. So
Come
Because
on,
they'll
Joe.
carry that.
I
Yeah.
like
Like
that,
I
Joe.
remember things I've done in the fourth grade.
Right.
You know, like to this day, whether it's a field trip or it was like a teacher saying something, 9/11 happened in the fifth grade for me. So, there's things that you will take. And I think that that's awesome that
That's
she's
amazing, man.
incorporating that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
In
yeah.
Asheville, y'all need to incorporate his book in
Yeah,
y'all classes
right.
as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, I actually had some I got like Coach Reed over here. I coach football too, so
Yeah.
I coached I wasn't able to coach last year because of the surgery, but we coached the travel football team, Carolina
Okay.
Storm. So I've been coaching my son since he was 5 years old,
Right.
and I had the same group since he was 5 years old,
Yeah.
and actually two of my players walked up to me like, Coach Greene, I read your book.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This out the blue. And I'm like, okay, appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I said, what'd you
Right.
get out of it? And they told me some different things they got out of it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Which
gonna hold
was
my
a
mom
blessing.
accountable. I'm gonna hold my daddy accountable.
It was a blessing. You know what I'm saying? To hear them say that, I didn't force them to read that book and nothing like that, but they
Right.
seen I wrote a book and they chose to read it.
That's awesome.
Do you know how impactful that is, though? Like,
It is.
Like, if you really think about it, think about when you were growing up. You never read books about colonoscopies or how being health. We don't read about healthy choices.
Right.
Make sure you got your meat on your plate with some vegetables and maybe a fruit.
That pyramid kept changing.
That's one thing in the pyramid, yeah. But imagine the change of the culture of men being more mindful of their body in a different way, and having that early detection opportunity being put in their head now at like age 9, 10,
Right.
you know what I mean, means the world
Right.
to where we could be going to in a healthier way,
Right.
you know. And that's an impact, man, that I think it's almost, it's not spoken enough, man. So I appreciate you sharing that, because
Right.
hopefully we do get enough opportunities where these books like this go into the shelves,
Right.
and or in the classrooms,
Right.
and all the things that are being taught, because this not only comes from a native voice, but it also comes from a voice of like it's real,
Right.
and we need to start thinking about it now, and
Exactly.
even early, like you said. How can anybody tell you when you sick?
Right.
You know, because I've had a niece, a godchild, I should say, pass away from cancer, and she was only 3.
Yep.
You know,
And don't care
and
about age.
you're thinking to yourself like, that shouldn't be happening to a 3-year-old.
Right.
You know, but it's a real life situation that we need to be paying attention to. So thank you for bringing that to light. Thank you for being here, though, man.
Thank y'all
Like I
for having me.
said,
Yeah, thank y'all for having me.
yeah.
Yeah.
This
This
has
is
been
awesome.
amazing opportunity.
It has been.
You can find out some more information. I know you sent me a flyer, but we'll have like on our 828 page on Instagram and
Yeah.
on Facebook.
Definitely
We'll have the
show it.
45 and 45. You can also send me the links to the books.
Yeah.
Once the next one come out too. But the first one for sure, give me a link to that, and we'll have that on our platform as well. So people can find it on there, the 828 Elite Podcast platforms.
Yes.
And we'll definitely have it tagged up under this YouTube piece of our platform as well. So
And to check out the full podcast, catch us on Apple and Spotify to hear this whole thing in its entirety. So,
Correct.
yeah, thank
Correct.
you. Do you have a page that they maybe could catch you on? Are you just a website or anything like that, or just your social media?
I mean, tell you the truth, like I got the Joe Greene Foundation. That's
Okay.
Joe Greene Foundation.com. That's out there. But again, it's all information really just the same, like Facebook, all the social media world. You know what I'm saying? I try as much as I can to stay on that, to keep things going, to keep people updated and stuff like that. But again, after a while, like you say, you feel like you talking to yourself sometimes. That's how you feel.
yeah,
But
yeah.
like you know, sometimes. But like social media really that's about the most place you can find me at.
But keep doing it,
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah.
even if somebody scrolls, reads it, and you feel like you're talking to yourself, it might take that moment.
Right.
They might have needed that to read it at that moment to be like, oh yeah, I might not have liked it, but he done made me stop what I'm doing and call my doctor. Like, and you might not ever know that, but still is what you're still paving that road and
Right.
laying that dirt down that we still need out here. So I know it's hard, and especially in the city, when it does feel like nobody's listening, or they do. Trust me. And what you said earlier, all those things that, all those accolades that you built for yourself, they do listen to you. You do definitely have a powerful voice in the city, and very, very well respected as well. So don't think that it's going unnoticed.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Hey, and I'm here for you.
Oh yeah.
You already know.
So
So anything you need, man, just let me know, man. We gotta, love on each other, man. I know that's a thing it's really coming up, but it's important for the men to love on each other too, man, and just make sure we here for each other, and keep up the good fight. Like you said, it might not be somebody that needs it, but they might hear your message and call somebody that might need it,
Right.
and that's how impactful that message can get to. So, but yeah, thank you for being here for sure,
thank
man.
y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Definitely.
keep doing y'all do. Keep doing what you're doing too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Keep doing what you're doing.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah, keep
I
pushing.
appreciate it.
As long as we get to talk to people like you.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, thank y'all for tuning in. This is 828 Elite Podcast. We with the wonderful Joe Greene
Yes.
and the beautiful Nina Marie.
Thank you.
Thank you. All
Coach
right,
Reed in
we'll
the
holler
building.
at you. Peace.